Hello aspirants, welcome back to Mains Answer Writing Basics program being conducted by Team India4IAS. This is Manjunath Mudho. In this video, we are going to discuss about answer approach to the day 9 question of the polity. The topic for day 9 is Union and its territories. So the question for day 9 is analyze the scope and limitations of Parliament's power to reorganize states under Article 2 and under Article 3 of the Indian Constitution. The question specifically asks about the Parliament's power as enshrined in Article 2 and 3 of the Indian Constitution with respect to the reorganization of the states. The question is for 10 marks and 150 words. So we have to start the answer by writing introduction. So what can be the good introduction? So we can define the Parliament's power under Article 2 and 3 of the Indian Constitution in the introduction. So whatever Article 2 and Article 3 talks about, that can be written as an introduction. Then we should also mention the historical and legal significance of these provisions. Historical and legal significance after introduction. So that we should write. Then coming to the main body. So in the main body, what we should write? We should write the constitutional provisions as mentioned in Article 2 and Article 3 of the Indian Constitution with respect to the power of the Parliament for state reorganization. So Article 2, it talks about the admission or establishment of new states. So Article 2 ಏನೇನತ್ತೆ ಅದನ್ನು ನಾವಿಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೀಬೇಕು. That is admission or establishment of new states. Then we should explain how the Parliament can admit new states into the Union or establish new states. After that, we should talk about Article 3 of the Indian Constitution, that is the formation of new states and alteration of the areas, boundaries, or names of the existing states. So, this is about Article 3. Then we should explain in detail the procedure for reorganization of states, including the requirements for presidential recommendation and the state legislature consultation. So, whatever provisions that are mentioned in Article 3, that we should write. After writing that, we should analyze the scope of Parliament's power. So, what is the scope of the Parliament's power with respect to Article 2 and 3 for the reorganization of the states? So, first one is we should say that Parliament has extensive powers with respect to the reorganization of the states. Then we should write examples, historical examples, where the Parliament has reorganized the states as per the provisions of Article 3. So, example Andhra Pradesh in the year 1953, then Reorganization of State Act in the year 1956. Several states have been created later that. Then the Chhattisgarh, Uttarakhand, and Jharkhand in the year 2000. Then Telangana in the year 2014. These examples we should write. Then we should talk about the legislative process. What is the legislative process involved in this state reorganization? So in detail, we have to discuss the legislative process, that is necessity of a simple majority to pass the State Reorganization Act in the both houses of the Parliament, that we should write. So after talking about the Parliament's power or scope of power with respect to state reorganization, then we should talk about the limitations and constraints with respect to the Parliament's power on state reorganization. The first one is presidential recommendation. So every such state reorganization, it requires the presidential recommendation. So this is one of the checks and balances with respect to the Parliament's power to reorganize the states. Then the second one is state legislature consultation. Every such reorganization of states, it has to be consulted by the respective states. Say for example, if Parliament it is creating new state by taking few areas from state A and few areas from state B, then it has to consult both the states. So that is also one of the constraint or limitation on the Parliament's power to reorganize the states. Then the third point is political and social considerations. So here we have to write the political, social, and economic considerations that influence the decisions on the state reorganization. For example, resource distribution, mineral resource distribution, interstate river water dispute that may arise. So such political and social considerations that we need to take into account. So that is the point. That is also acts as one of the limitation on Parliament's power to reorganize the states. Then the fourth one is judicial review. So the judiciary has power to review the any act of the Parliament. So it can also review the State Reorganization Act if it finds if the act violates the constitutional principles. So then we have to discuss the impact of state reorganization. So the first one is administrative efficiency. So the formation of new state from the existing states, how it is going to affect administrative efficiency, whether it is going to increase the administrative efficiency or it is going to decrease. That we have to address. Then the second point is ethnic and cultural identity. So since in India is a diverse country with various ethnic and religion, race, and culture. So while reorganizing the state, we should also take into account the ethnic and cultural aspects so that we can preserve the identity of the states. We can preserve the ethnic and cultural identity of the people or the tribal people. So then the next point is economic development. So here we have to discuss the how the state reorganization can potentially enhance the economic development of the new state and also how it is going to contribute to the national economic development that we should write. So this is the impact of the reorganization of the state. So then we should move to the conclusion. In conclusion, in the two ways we can conclude. The first one is we can summarize the Parliament's power with respect to the state reorganization. So that can be one conclusion. The second way of concluding is we should reflect on the importance of these provisions in maintaining the unity and integrity of India while accommodating the regional aspirations. This way also we can write the second conclusion. So both the conclusions are valid. So this is all about the answer approach to the day 9 question. We will meet in the day 10 answer approach. Till then, happy learning.